Welcome to today's video, where we will take you on a journey through history with strange and bizarre facts that are sure to surprise you and maybe even help you drift off to sleep. History is full of oddities, quirky events, and stories that sound almost too bizarre to be true. So sit back, relax, and let's explore some of the weirdest and most fascinating facts that the past has to offer. Fact 1. The dancing plague of 1518. Imagine being struck by an uncontrollable urge to dance. Sounds fun, right? Well, in 1518, in the city of Strasbourg, then part of the Holy Roman Empire, a strange phenomenon occurred. People suddenly started dancing without control. It wasn't just one person, but dozens of men and women who began dancing for hours, days, and in some cases, even weeks. The dancing plague became so severe that several people died from exhaustion or heart failure. Scientists today are still puzzled as to what caused this mass hysteria, with theories ranging from ergot poisoning, a hallucinogenic mold, to stress-induced psychosis. Fact 2. Napoleon was once attacked by a horde of bunnies. We all know Napoleon Bonaparte as a brilliant military strategist. But did you know that he was once defeated by bunnies? In 1807, Napoleon decided to celebrate a peace treaty with a grand hunting event. His team set up a rabbit hunt, releasing hundreds of rabbits into a field. However, the rabbits, instead of running away from Napoleon, turned and charged straight toward him. Napoleon, who was used to conquering armies, was completely overwhelmed by the furry horde, forcing him to retreat in chaos. This bizarre incident has been recorded in historical accounts, showing that even the greatest of men have their unexpected downfalls. Fact 3. The Great Emu War. In 1932, Australia was engaged in a battle with emus. Yes, you read that right, emus. After World War I, Australian farmers struggled with crop damage caused by a large emu population. These birds were eating crops, causing major destruction. In an attempt to curb the damage, the Australian government sent soldiers armed with machine guns to deal with the emus. However, the emus proved to be far faster and more agile than expected, dodging the soldiers' attempts and even scattering in large groups. The Great Emu War ended in defeat for the humans, and the emus continued to wreak havoc on the farms. A strange chapter in history indeed. Fact 4. Cleopatra lived closer to the moon landing than to the pyramids. Cleopatra, the famous queen of Egypt, is often associated with the ancient pyramids, but here's a mind-boggling fact. Cleopatra lived closer to the 1969 moon landing than to the building of the Great Pyramids of Giza. The pyramids were constructed around 2500 BCE, whereas Cleopatra reigned during the 1st century BCE, nearly 2,000 years later. This puts into perspective how ancient the pyramids truly are compared to the relatively modern history of Cleopatra. Fact 5. The shortest war in history. The Anglo-Zanzibar War holds the record for the shortest war in history. In 1896, when Sultan Khalid bin Bargash of Zanzibar refused to step down after the British demanded his abdication, the British launched a bombardment on the palace. The war lasted only 38 minutes, ending with a quick victory for the British. No other conflict in history has been as brief as this one, making it both a strange and amusing chapter in military history. Fact 6. A man once tried to sell New York City. In 1827, a man named William "Billy" the Coyote attempted to sell New York City. After a series of financial difficulties, Billy declared that he owned the land and tried to sell the entire city. Despite his lack of legal ownership, he found a few buyers who were willing to offer him money for the deal. The sale never went through, but it serves as a bizarre reminder of the strange things that can happen when people think they own a piece of something they don't. Fact 7. The Lost Library of the Pharaohs. One of the most bizarre mysteries in the world of ancient Egypt is the story of the lost library of Alexandria. This library, said to contain a vast amount of knowledge and scrolls from ancient civilizations, was supposedly burned down in antiquity. Some historians claim it was destroyed during Julius Caesar's siege of Alexandria in 48 BCE, while others believe it was slowly lost over time. However, there are numerous theories that some of the scrolls or texts may have survived and been hidden away in various places. For centuries, scholars have searched for pieces of this lost treasure trove of knowledge, making it one of the most fascinating and bizarre historical mysteries of all time. Fact 8. The Cadaver Synod. One of the most bizarre trials in history is the Cadaver Synod, which took place in 897. Pope Stephen VI had the body of his predecessor, Pope Formosus, exhumed and put on trial. The corpse, dressed in papal robes, was propped up on a throne while a deacon was assigned to answer on its behalf. The trial accused Formosus of various crimes, including perjury and violating church laws. Unsurprisingly, the corpse was found guilty, and its body was thrown into the Tiber River. It's hard to believe this bizarre event was part of the political power struggles of the papacy at the time. Fact 9. The Oregon Trail used to have an Indian fighting course. The Oregon Trail, known for its brutal and dangerous journey across the American frontier, once had a game called the Indian fighting course. Early settlers traveling westward used this game to prepare for what they believed was the inevitable confrontation with Native American tribes along the trail. The game, designed by the U.S. Army, taught settlers how to fight Native Americans, a reflection of the violent and misguided policies of the time. This game, in hindsight, is a bizarre and disturbing chapter in the history of westward expansion. Fact 10. A French king was once trapped in a snowstorm for 30 days. King Louis IX of France, also known as Saint Louis, had a rather strange adventure in 1254. He set out on a crusade to the Holy Land, but during the journey, he was trapped in a snowstorm for a full 30 days. His army was caught in the blizzard, and they were forced to huddle together in tents to survive. Despite this harsh experience, Louis managed to lead his army out of the snowstorm and continue the crusade. His experience with the snowstorm was later recorded as an event that added to his sainthood legacy, but it remains a bizarre and challenging moment in the life of a king. Conclusion. As you lay down to rest, remember that history is filled with bizarre events that can make our current world seem a bit more predictable and calm. Whether it's mass dancing plagues, failed wars with emus, or a corpse on trial, these oddities remind us of the strange and unpredictable nature of human history. So, as you close your eyes tonight, perhaps these strange tales will offer you a sense of wonder or amusement as you drift into a peaceful sleep.